You might remember hearing about little Faye Swetlik of KC, South Carolina, and the massive multi-day search that ensued for her. But you might not know how it really ended, and who the bizarre perpetrator behind it all really was.
Lexington County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
16 Londonderry Square. I think I want a missing child today.
All right, repeat that address for verification.
16. Dr. Winter, we can't find my daughter. She was playing outside, and no one can find her. And she's looking around like she is 6. She's going to be 7 in June.
I'm going to stay on the line with you, but I'm going to get KCPD on the line too, but I'm going to stay on the line, so don't hang up, okay?
Okay.
Hey, now, I wanted your heart take please fire medical. Hey, Nancy, this is Lexington. I've got a lady at 16 Londonderry Square. Her 6-year-old was in the front yard, and she can't find her now. All right, hold on. What's the number? 16? 16 Londonderry Square. And I have her phone number. I'm going to stay on the line so it doesn't get disconnected. And I'm going to stay on the line just so it doesn't hang up. Okay, ma'am, you're on the phone with Casey. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Can you tell me what your daughter's name is?
My daughter's name is Faye Swetlik. Faye.
Hold on. Hold on. All right. What was the first name again?
Faye.
Faye, Faye?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's the last name?
Swetlik.
Spell that for me.
SWETLIK.
Okay, and what was she wearing?
She was wearing polka dotted raincoat, a flowered skirt, and
Solid skirt or a flowered?
flowered. Was a pink rose skirt.
Okay.
And a black
Kind of shirt.
a black t-shirt that has a neon design on it.
And how long has she been gone?
Last I saw her probably about an hour ago.
How tall is she?
She's 3'10".
3 foot? How much does she weigh?
65 pounds.
All right, stay on the phone with me. Do not hang up. All right. You last saw her in the front yard. You didn't say which way she went or anything like that.
No, she went in front of my front porch.
Does she have an accident?
No.
All right. Have you possibly, have you walked around and tried to locate her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to stay in your yard, okay? We have a unit out that has a dog in case we need to try to track her, okay?
Okay.
So we don't need you walking. If you can just kind of stay close to the last place she was. Hold on just a second. Do you have any idea where she would go? Have you looked in the backyard?
Yes, ma'am. I checked all the houses in my neighborhood and anybody that's actually answered to that looking for her too.
Did she have a dog or anything with her?
No.
Okay, my officer will be there in just a few minutes.
I'm okay.
And Casey, I'm still here. Do you need anything from us? Yeah, I don't need y'all. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, thank you. I'm just afraid if I hang up, it's going to disconnect. That's all. All right. That's okay. Miss Faye, if she hangs up and you disconnect and you need us back, you dial 911 again, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. If she happens to come up on the front porch before we get there.
Okay, will do.
All right. They'll be there shortly.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
You just heard the real 911 call that Faye Swetlik's mother made to report her 6-year-old daughter missing. I'm Brandi, and you're watching Killer Bites. On February 10th of 2020 in KC, South Carolina, first grader Faye Swetlik was on her way home from a typical day at school. After finishing her classes for the day, Faye hopped onto the school bus and was on her way home. She was dropped off in her neighborhood around 3 p.m. But on that very day in February, by 4 in the afternoon, her mother couldn't find Faye anywhere. She searched for an hour before calling police and telling them that she was only just on their doorstep. "I can't find my daughter," she tells the dispatcher. "She was just right in front of my front porch." By 6 o'clock that evening, the FBI got involved and a community-wide search had already begun. Helicopters and dog squads were deployed, but none of the hundreds of tips or leads led anywhere. Police said for this case, they weren't ruling anyone out, but without clear suspects, her family was no longer under any suspicion after searches, cell records, and a solid alibi. Police were at a loss. Little did they know at the time, they had already searched the property where Faye would later be found. However, when trash day came on Thursday, February 13th, and when police searched a bin at the apartment complex behind Faye's house, they announced the discovery of critical evidence, one of her small polka dot boots. At this point, investigators feared the worst, but were lucky to find that some of the surveillance footage they'd requested from the community at large would reveal quite a bit of evidence they never would have gotten from the perpetrator. The video features a man going to the Walmart garden center and then sneaking back into the woodland area behind Faye's home, the same wooded area that neighbors had seen Faye playing in before she disappeared. And there, investigators found a shallow grave containing her body. Faye had died of asphyxiation, and it is said that she passed away mere hours after being abducted. The crime shook the small community, and condolences flew in rapidly from across the country, including one from the vice president. Shortly after the discovery of Faye Swetlik's lifeless body in the woods, the police received a phone call about a man who was severely injured on a nearby patio in need of immediate assistance. The police arrive at the scene. Coty Taylor was on his front porch with a self-inflicted wound, with the blade still lodged in his neck. Coty Taylor had taken Faye Swetlik's life as well as his own. It was 30-year-old Coty Taylor, a self-described incel who police would connect the dots right to Faye's demise. Coty and Faye had no associations, but police were able to piece a theory together using the evidence they gathered. Taylor attracted little suspicion during their initial searches, and police had in fact searched his home for the first time only 2 days after Swetlik had disappeared, with permission from his roommate. They'd noticed a large black laundry bag stuffed very full of what they assumed was laundry in the young man's otherwise messy apartment, but they found no reason to inquire about it. Coty was not home at the time the police searched his home, but the police later came back to his apartment to interview him. The police say that he was very cooperative while being interviewed. Coty told the police that he was asleep during the time of Faye's disappearance, but the police began to question his alibi. When FBI profilers were consulted, investigators came to believe that Coty abducted her right from her backyard and had asphyxiated her within hours of the abduction, apparently hiding the body from police for nearly 2 days. His roommates recalled him acting strangely in the previous 2 days, even reporting a strong scent appearing since Faye's disappearance, but they wrote it off as a cheap air freshener Coty had recently bought to cover up the real scent. The roommate told the investigators he had never really smelled a dead person before, but there was something not right. The camera footage requested during the investigation ended up being crucial in piecing together what had happened. Coty was caught moving through the wooded area by flashlight in the dark of night. As mentioned before, Coty was also caught on camera going to a garden supply store just before close, wandering around for 20 minutes before paying for several bags of soil and fertilizer. He got a Lyft ride to return home, and the driver felt instantly disturbed. He went as far as to ask him about Faye, considering the purchase he'd made, but Coty replied that he didn't know her. Footage would cover him returning to the woodland more than once on February 13th around 1 a.m. He was shining a flashlight in the exact area that the police later found Faye's lifeless body. It was Faye's polka dot rain boot that was discovered in Coty's trash cans, lying next to a wooden spoon covered in dirt. Further analysis would find Coty's DNA under Faye's fingernails, amongst other biological evidence. They also opened that old laundry bag they had found in Coty's apartment and found DNA evidence matching Faye Swetlik. With enough DNA to comfortably implicate Coty in the crime, there was no trial and the investigation ended with his death. Casey Public Safety Director Byron Snellgrove is quoted saying, "All endings, evidence, and facts point to the exact same conclusion. Coty Taylor abducted and murdered Faye Marie Swetlik and was the sole perpetrator in this horrible case. Friends and acquaintances would later describe Coty Taylor as a loner who constantly had a negative outlook on life. Faye Swetlik and Coty Taylor had lived peacefully side by side, a mere 150 feet away from each other. So I wish we could understand why this happened. What do you think about the Faye Swetlik case? Do you think there's more to the story than meets the eye? Or do you think it's pretty cut and dry, case closed? I'm Brandi, and thanks for watching Killer Bites. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.